Sebastian, thank you so much for taking the time with me today. I'm excited to hear more about Tellescope. My understanding is this company's still relatively young, so I'm excited to hear kind of just what the foundations are that you've built. So tell me about the company.
Sure. So we provide everything that a new company needs to build a great digital patient experience, focused on the back end side of things. So everything their team needs to manage patients, communicate with each other, and figure out how to deliver a scalable, personalized health experience for everyone that goes through their care.
When you say any company, tiny startup to enterprise, I mean, really mean any?
Yeah, so for any company that has a patient as a user at some point in their journey, we want to be the best solution for them.
Okay.
For now, starting with earlier stage companies, easier to work with, we can provide a bigger impact at that stage for the time being. But eventually, yeah, we'll be the solution for any company.
What was it about the patient engagement platforms, the dashboards, all the technology that we might see at a conference like this? What was it that was broken about that made you say, I'm going to dive in here and solve this problem?
Yeah, well, so it comes back to the founding story of the company, actually. So we went through the Techstars United Healthcare Accelerator, and we had this unique opportunity to speak with hundreds of people at United and Optum, as well as new startups in our cohort. And the broader Techstars network. And, you know, that was also at a really fascinating time because it was end of 2020, early height of the pandemic, pre-widespread vaccine distribution, and a moment of incredible acceleration in digital health, where it felt like every day there was a new company announcing funding with some new care delivery model for delivering a great patient experience, right? And that's super exciting. And at the same time, all of these companies are doing something new, and they need something that can meet their needs as a completely new business in some ways. And so that illustrated to us, you know, not just at the earlier stage, but across the spectrum at a huge company like United, where they've got all kinds of their own constraints, that if we want to build something right, it's got to be really flexible, and it's got to be really thoughtful about what exists today and what's coming tomorrow. And so that was really the impetus for building the solution the way we did.
Am I right that you're kind of comparing like a one-size-fits-all, off-the-shelf type solution to customizable, flexible, maybe, you know, made for developers and programmers? Is that sort of the dichotomy here?
Exactly, yeah. So we found all these stakeholders have technical talent for the most part, right? And that means having developers on staff who want to use their skills to build something unique. So we tap into that. And then the platform that we have where caregivers or other team members will work together, or communicate, talk about patients, talk to patients. That's a solution that's also flexible without needing to write a line of code. So we tried to go across the full spectrum of who makes up a care team.
So let's try to make it really concrete just to understand the product better. Let's say I'm a mid-sized company. I've got a fine way to chat with my patients, but there's another aspect. What would be like a piece of the puzzle that I might be missing, where I might come to Tellescope to sort of fill in a gap?
Sure. I mean, one thing might be, you know that all of your patients are different. Everyone has different preferences. Everyone communicates differently, speaks different languages, whatever, right? And you might have a chat system that works for some patient population, and then you have all kinds of people falling through the cracks. And you can come to us and you can say, okay, just as easily as I can currently chat with my patients, I could send them emails, send them texts, video, call, or, you know, use our own chat as well. And when that all gets pulled together, you can reach each patient where they're at and have a complete record and not add any complexity to your work.
Yeah. You know, this is one of those back-end technologies that can feel very, you know, foundational and can feel distant from the patient experience. But I know that anything like this trickles down into helping real human beings. So when you think about the human impact of improving patient engagement technology, what do you think of?
Yeah, I mean, I think of the early customers that we're serving. I think of a customer that, you know, had twins, realized that being a working mother is an incredible challenge, and saw an opportunity to help all kinds of people just like her. And I think about how our platform has helped them get their app to market months faster, and has provided the complete system they need to actually reach mothers and help them with their specific challenges as they navigate parenthood.
I'm glad you said that speed to market issue, because speed is so critical to a startup. You're more aware of that than most. How important is it to get to market quickly with the right tools?
Oh, I mean, it's paramount, right? if you have 6 months of cash and you've got to build a great patient experience, you don't want to spend half that time stitching everything together behind the scenes. You want that to just work.
Yeah.
And you want to iterate quickly. You want to get that feedback from your early customers, make your product better, keep going. I mean, that's our philosophy building this product, but it's all of our customers' philosophy as well. So every month we can give them leads to a better product and better timelines.
You're a young founder. Do you feel like this is a switch going on in the market towards founders having the tools, sort of the developer tools, to focus on their specialty and focus a little less on the technology? Do you feel like that as the tools get more flexible and customizable, they'll be able to focus on their solution and less on the nitty-gritty, the lines of code that that's not their bread and butter for their business? Is this a shift you're seeing generally?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, broadly, businesses want to focus on what matters to them and what differentiates them. In this industry, it's not building a video chat system. It's not building a text chat system. I've had to do that for this business, and I'm glad it got done once, and now no one else has to do that same kind of grunt work again.
But that's not how it was just a few years ago. A few years ago, the product was the line of code. Mm-hmm. And now what I'm hearing from you is with Tellescope, you can fill in those gaps quickly. The technology can kind of fade a little bit so that you can focus on the pediatrics, you can focus on oncology, whatever that thing is. I think that is an interesting new trend that you're helping bring about.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, you could have 12 different solutions that you could put together as a developer to replicate what we've built. But even that is too much of a headache, right? You want it to just work out of the box, and you want your team to be able to use it, and that's where we kind of excel.
Awesome. Sebastian, thanks for taking the time with me. I'm excited to see what you continue to build with Tellescope and the other innovations and startups that you enable to grow based off of the tools that you're giving them. So thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.